Hi, my name is Roger Schlater. The video today is actually pretty short, but it's about the SBA Franchise Directory. According to SBA, the Franchise Directory contains all franchise and other brands that are eligible for SBA financial assistance. The applicant's brand must meet the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, definition of a franchise. A franchise must be in the directory in order to get SBA financing, and the directory is updated weekly. To look up a company to see if the franchise is in the directory, you basically go to sba.gov. On the top right, there's going to be like a magnifying glass. You want to go ahead and type in franchise directory into there, and then go ahead and click on there or return. And then there'll be a couple things that'll come up, and the second item is the franchise directory, and go ahead and click on that, and then you're going to see an alphabetical type thing where you just type in what letter A or C or Z. They're not all in there, but it gives those, and then you click on there, and then it will go to that part of the franchise directory. Now you really have to go to the top of the franchise directory because it has some classifications that once you move down, they disappear. They don't move down with it, which I wish they would correct. But anyway, when I looked it up, it gave an effective date. So there is an effective date there, and it's usually very close to the date you're looking up stuff. And then you look up for a company alphabetically. The info is from left to right, and it really goes to, there is an identification code that's on the left side, the first thing, then the brand, whatever brand that is, the franchise brand, and then the third thing is that it meets the definition of a franchise, the FTC definition, and there'll just be if it does, there'll be a Y in there, and then there'll be is a addendum needed, and that just depends. A lot of times they are. If they are, it'll have another yes, a Y in that column. And then the next column is SBA Addendum Form 2462, and if they have if they have one of those forms, I guess it's another Y. They have a Y in there or an N for no. And then there's the other one is the SBA negotiated addendum, and that's negotiated between the SBA and the franchise. And if there's one of those, it'll give that on there, yes or no. And then it'll say SBA identification code start date, and it'll give a date in there when the actual franchise, when they did their identification code, when it was I guess. This new, it can be updated though, but that'll be the date on there. And then there'll be notes, whether there's notes or no notes. A lot of times it'll say no notes. So anyway, I typed in the example for Domino's. It did give an identification code. The brand was Domino's. Meets definition of franchise was a Y for yes. Is an addendum needed? There was a Y in there that said yes. SBA Addendum Form 2462, and then there was a yes, meaning that form is needed. And then there was a SBA Negotiated Addendum, and it said no, that they don't have a negotiated addendum. And then the actual identification code start date was 10/1/2017. And then under notes, it said no notes. So, basically it's pretty easy. Every once in a while you'll run into one. I know I ran into one that the person said was a franchise, and it had real weird information under the franchise stuff. I think it didn't have a start date, it didn't have certain things about it. And then so anyway, when I finally contacted the franchise people at SBA, and they said, oh, the reason that wasn't in there is that they are not, we don't consider them a franchise, but they were already in the I guess in the directory, but they didn't consider them a franchise. So if the information is weird or sketchy, or if they don't have a code or a date on it, I would check. to make sure that they're really a franchise. And if a company is not in the registry, you can still check eligibility, but the franchise will have to send in all the documents to the registry for an evaluation, and the franchise registry will make a decision and usually add them to the registry. And so anyway, it is possible to get somebody in the registry that a franchise that is currently not. The franchise registry can be good for looking up companies that you may want to get a franchise in. You want to maybe see if they're on the franchise registry to know if you can get SBA financing, which is a pretty big deal with banks. Franchises show that the company can be run profitably and they are less risky, but still, it's a startup because you're buying this franchise and you haven't ran this franchise before. So it's still a startup, and those are risky. So a lot of times a bank will want SBA financing on a franchise business. Even one that's very proven like a Domino's or whatever, they still will want will want SBA financing. So it is good to find out. Or let's say if you have an idea of what you want to do, you may go look at the registry to see what kind of companies are franchising. That's a way you could use the directory also. So anyway, thank you very much. This is a very short video, I'm sorry, but it's a very important, and it is something, the SBA Franchise Directory, that they've put a lot of time into, and they are updating it weekly, which is really a big deal. So it is updated all the time. So anyway, thank you very much. If you like this kind of content, I hope you subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos. And if this is new information to you, I hope you hit the like button, because that does help out the channel. Anyway, my name is Roger Schlater, and thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.